Good morning, everybody. MG here, MGCovers, bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, WNBA free play for June the 15th, 2023. There's also some ancillary benefits to watching this video. We're going to talk about something that you can apply to other sports as well with regards to ATS against the spread. So super educational, applicable to other sports as well. So make sure you stick around and watch this entire video. Before we do that, as always, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Have 409 videos on this channel. I'll give you the unadulterated truth about sports betting. If you want to learn this business, not coming to pocket any money, subscribe to the channel. Have a ton of playlists regarding how to handicap, etc., how to build sports betting models. And if you follow me on social media, I'm MGCovers, cover spelled with a Z. You see it right there. Instagram. I also have something on Instagram called Free Friday. So if you follow me, you get all my lines for all sports that will drop tomorrow. All right, so we're going to look at this NBA matchup, Seattle and Las Vegas. Over here on the left, these are my lines for WNBA. And a lot of times what you'll notice, this is true with a lot of obscure soccer leagues, the WNBA, the lines are not as sharp. And the reason for that, and what I mean by a sharp line, meaning there's not a lot of money that comes into, say, an obscure soccer league or WNBA league. So therefore, it's not a, quote, season line. You look at NFL, it's rare for the sports books to lay, quote, a bad line because there's so much money that comes into that market. So if there is a line that's off, maybe the line's laid at -8, sports book make a team -8, and let's say that line's a little off, it will quickly move down to, say, -7. Well, you just don't get that much money that goes into WNBA, so it's a sport that you can exploit, and you'll see some huge discrepancies, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So we look at Seattle, Las Vegas. My line has this at even. Now, if we go over here to the books, we will see that the line is Las Vegas -17.5. Seattle is +17.5. So we have what I call a 17.5 point differential between my line and the sportsbook line. So we have a tremendous amount of value with Seattle. Now let's talk about why the line is that way, because this is very educational. If you understand how books set lines or get a better understanding of it, it can help you in your handicapping. So let's talk about why that spread is so big. And we'll look, I'm going to give you a football example. Las Vegas is 8-1 on the year. Seattle is 2-6. So the sports books set a line based on the public's perception of that team. So it's what we call a fair market price. Some people might disagree with that, but that's basically what it is. So they have to set a line based on the public's perception of that team because the majority of people that bet on these games are, quote, the public. They can't set a line how I determine a line based on a model. So Las Vegas is perceived to be probably the best team in WNBA. They're 8-1. So therefore, what does that do to the line? The line is basically they've overvalued this side, or another way to look at it is they've increased this to 17.5 so that they're guaranteed to get some money on Seattle, because regardless of what they set this line at, people are going to play Las Vegas because they're the best team. So they have to offset that to some degree, making this +17.5 to ensure they're going to get some money coming in on Seattle. Now, you see this a lot in sports when a really good team is extremely overvalued. Let's talk about the NFL example. Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, best team in NFL. However, they were terrible against the spread. Why? Because they were overvalued. You saw a lot of lines for Kansas City, -13, -14, -14.5. Average margin of victory in NFL anywhere in between 3 and 7. So you would have been extremely profitable fading the best team in Kansas City. So when one side is overvalued in sports betting, where's the value? The value is on the opposite side. Now, so that's one quick lesson there with regards to why books set the line the way they do. Now, let's take a look at what you see here is ATS against the spread. Seattle's 5-2-1. Las Vegas, you can already see they're 4-5. That tells you that they're overvalued. Now, ATS, you see a lot of cheesy betting sites will say, "Oh, this team is 8-4 against the spread." All this means against the spread is how they're perceived in the marketplace. So Seattle is undervalued in the marketplace. Las Vegas is overvalued in the marketplace. Now, the correct way, I made numerous videos about this, the correct way to calculate ATS is what I call the sharp approach, and that's what we're going to do in this video, is we're going to take the spread, Seattle plus 17.5, and add 17.5 to all of their games. I think they've only played 8 games so far, and see how many times they've covered if you add 17.5 points to their score. Not win-loss. We're just looking for ATS. Whoops, I think I passed it. Okay. So we start out here. They won this one, so they covered. Lost by 6, they covered. Lost by 7, they covered. Won that one. Lost by 7, they covered. Meaning covered, adding 17.5 points. They covered here, and you can see this is the team that they played before, and another reason the line is the way that it is, they got absolutely obliterated. Now, another important note to note about handicapping, this was the first game of the season. Do you think they've improved since May 20th? Absolutely, because they haven't been blown out that bad since then, okay? So let's double check this. So they've played 8 games. They've only lost by 17.5 one time. So here's a way to look at this. So they played 8 games, and they've covered, adding 17.5 points to their score, 7 out of 8 times. So the sharp ATS calculation is 88%. So another way to word this would be Seattle covers 88% of the time when you add 17.5 points. This is called sharp ATS calculation. Okay? Now let's do the same for Las Vegas. So it's going to be just the opposite here. We're going to subtract 17.5 points from Las Vegas's first 9 games and see how many times they've covered. Okay? Lost, 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 lost. Here they cover. And here they covered. Is that right? Yeah. Here they lost, and here they covered. So they've covered 1, 2, 3. And they've played a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've covered a 17.5 nut 3 times out of 9. So then the calculation would be for them. So 33% of the time, they're covering a 17.5 nut. So we have, based on the sharp ATS calculation, definitely favors Seattle in this situation. Now, this is important to note about handicapping. Again, we're not trying to predict the outcome, meaning if you look at this and say, well, they got blown out by Vegas, you can't assume they're going to get blown out today. And they could very well lose this game. But in handicapping, just like handicapping, sports handicapping is an investment product. We're not trying to pick winners. What we're trying to do is make good wagers. It's the same deal if you bought a house. You're looking at a house to buy. Houses in a great subdivision but needs a lot of work. It's on a golf course. So the property value probably will maintain. You put a little bit of money into that, you'll have a tremendous amount of equity in a couple of years. Now, the golf course could close, right? And your property values could go down. So there's no way to predict the future, but based on the information you have, that would be a good investment. And that's what we're trying to do in sports handicapping. We're simply trying to make a good wager. So to review, we already know Vegas is extremely overvalued. They're only covering 17.5, 33% of the time. Seattle is covering 88% of the time. Negative, yes, Seattle did lose to Vegas. That was their first game of the season. Obviously, they've improved since then. They've won 2 of their last 4. Not bad. Their 2 losses here. They lost to Washington by 6 there, but did beat LA and Phoenix. Actually blew out Phoenix in their last game 2 nights ago. So that's definitely a positive. Getting that many points. This is a good wager to play Seattle, irregardless of the outcome. So the free play would be Seattle plus 17.5. So I hope this helps. Remember, this ATS calculation, you can use it for NBA. You can use it for college football. You can use it for college basketball. Seems to work a lot better with basketball sports. And if you want access to all of my power rankings for all sports every day, it's $49.95 per month. You get access to WNBA, soccer, as well as Major League Baseball, having a tremendous amount of success with a Major League Baseball video. You also get access to all of my coaching videos. We have about 150 coaching videos that are not on YouTube, only available to clients on the website. You can learn about sports handicapping. If you want access to all of my plays for all sports, that's $100 a month. There's a link to join in the description box. The best value is the yearly membership. Instead of paying $100 a month for 12 months, that's about, $1,200. You get a $600 discount, so you can get access to all the videos, all my lines, all my plays for 1 solid year for $4.99. That's the best value. Link to joins in the description box. Like this video. Go Seattle. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.